LeBron is out of Los Angeles, and Mexico versus England coming up next. What's up, guys? You're watching the Huddle. My name is Ariel Meza, your host, and today we are joined by Donovan Hicks, along with the usual Thomas and Kyle. But Donovan, welcome to the show, Donovan.
Thank you, Ariel. Thank you guys. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
How you been?
I've been pretty good, man. It's been going good. Working with the Review Journal right now, kind of beat writing for the Aces. So they're having a good little run right now. So that's pretty good.
Lost the Commissioner's Cup.
Yeah, Asia Wilson didn't play.
Ageless Aces.
Yep.
Yeah, well, like I said just a second ago, LeBron leaving Los Angeles. Big news. We're going to get to it soon. A lot of big news coming out of the sports world. Actually, no, let's start with basketball, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, LeBron leaving LA, I mean, what was that? 5-6 years in LA? More?
A bit more than that.
A bit more than that.
2018, so I think.
8 years. He spent
Crazy.
8 years in
Crazy.
LA? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 8 then, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. 8 years.
I don't know, but as a Lakers fan, his time has come. He's 40 years old, so they can rebuild. They were getting to work today, signed Quentin Grimes, got Walker Kessler in a trade, looking to be young and rebuild. So hopefully they can build around Luka. I know he was, on edge about the 2026 summer when he got traded, and so hopefully that's not the last of their moves.
They got him a lob threat in Walker Kessler.
Mm-hmm.
They had to pay a premium price to get him, but I think that's probably the only way they were going to get a star center in this free agent class.
Well, we know how Danny Ainge is with the Utah Jazz. He overvalues draft picks and people on the Jazz when the Jazz really aren't that good. But
What was your initial reaction when you saw it, like as a Lakers fan?
that LeBron's leaving?
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a long time coming. I do appreciate, being one of the greatest of all time and playing for my franchise. So, yeah, I don't know.
Hey, listen, it may have been a bubble championship, but it was still a championship.
Yeah.
Is that the only championship he won in LA?
That was the only one.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
So a very controversial one.
Got the asterisk on it now.
Yeah.
It's not an asterisk.
I mean, it
It's
kind
not-
of
it's
is.
still a
no
cha-
asterisk on the
it's
bubble.
still a
Everyone
championship.
Everyone had the same chance.
Some people say it's the hardest one to win. Some
Yeah.
people say it was the easiest one to win. I don't know how I feel about
I
that.
still
so.
think they would have won a regular season. They had a great team that year.
They did. They had
It
a
was
lot of
stacked team.
glue guys.
Anthony Davis actually played a full season.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that like the last time he played a full season?
It feels like
Yeah.
it.
No, his last season in LA played 78 games, so 76 games or something. So, but now he's made of glass. So
Not wrong.
no.
Yeah, I think Thomas, a lot of I'm a Lakers fan too, but I don't care that much about the NBA. But a lot of diehard Lakers fans, the Lakers comments have just been flooded with, "Thank God, I can finally watch the Lakers again." A lot of people don't
It's
like
not
it.
that bad. Like,
Not.
I mean,
I'm a Jordan over LeBron guy, but I still love LeBron, and I thought he was great on the Lakers still. So, yeah, whole new era of Lakers coming actually now. We got a lot of people leaving. Luke Kennard, Rui Hachimura, kind of just completely moving on from LeBron era to probably a Luka era.
yeah, 100%. So hopefully they can do some damage. So
Yeah,
he
no.
gets the team that he wants, and when he got the team that he wanted, he made the finals. So we will see. So hopefully he
Dallas,
can,
yeah.
Luka has the keys.
can carry them. So we'll see though.
What team do you think, like, if you had to pick out of you two, and then you can chime in on this as well, what team do you think he goes to? LeBron.
Thanks for including me.
I got you, brother. Don't worry.
If he is not a Golden State Warrior, then I don't know what he can be.
Yeah.
Because there's been so much talk about him and Steph Curry wanting to play together. Ever since they've been teaming up in the Olympics, saw how
Yeah.
good that was, and ever since then it's been like, LeBron can go to the Warriors. It's been a lot of possible trade scenarios. I don't know how you can trade LeBron James, but now he's a free agent. He can sign wherever. He told Rich Paul, I'm interested in every team, but deep down, he knows where he's going, that's for sure. And that's GSW.
If it's not the Warriors, the only other team I can possibly think of is the Cavs, right? Go with Donovan Mitchell, but I don't know if you want to pair LeBron with James Harden in that team.
No, I don't know. Because you already had a pass first guard in Luka Doncic on the Lakers, and that, I don't know. They kind of worked better when he wasn't on the court, so.
It wasn't the question if the Cavs could even afford LeBron, especially after.
That's why I think they would probably have to move on from Harden to even.
Yeah, but
even
then
make that a
now
possibility.
what I saw was that LeBron's willing to take a minimum deal.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
So-
I did see that too. So
Yeah.
you take Imagine.
You know what else I saw about deals and stuff and the Lakers that LeBron waited till Bronny got his guaranteed money and then jumped ship.
Fully guaranteed $2.1 million. It's not even a guarantee that he's
game's the
play.
game, I guess. Like,
I get it to a point. I mean, I understand though why Lakers fans are upset about thank goodness he leaves because he never took a league minimum or even a discount deal to stay in Los Angeles, which obviously hurt them a lot. And in the moment that he leaves, he says, "Oh, I'm good. I'll take a league minimum deal to go win another championship."
Yeah, that's the kind of part that hurts. Especially if you're a winner and you want to win. You could definitely take a league minimum. It's not like he needs the money. Like he's a $1 billion person. Like I don't know, but all the best to him. Go Lakers. Let's go Luka.
Yeah, and much more news in the NBA. John Morant to Portland, right?
So now
that's a huge one, and then
LaMelo Ball. We talked
to
about
the
that
Timberwolves,
too. To the Timberwolves.
Probably the two big
Probably
big moves.
Do you think that's now, in terms of, I want to say media, but in terms of social media and clips, do you think that's the best?
Cooked.
It's the best duo out there,
100%.
LaMelo and Ant.
The PR team.
The PR team's gonna be doing
working overtime. That's for sure.
Dude.
I think
there's social media and actually even just media. That's
like a
funniest locker rooms, funniest post game interviews. What is this? Because they do duo post games, right? Together. That's gonna be terrible, bro. It's gonna be hilarious though.
Yeah.
There's no way they put them up on the podium at the same time, or they're gonna do it once. Yeah.
Yeah, on the court though, I'm not really sure how that's gonna work out. LaMelo Ball kind of, I don't know. He's operated they've built around him when he got drafted in 20. I believe he got drafted in 2020. But now he's gonna have to sit behind, of course, Anthony Edwards, and that's basically his team. So, but LaMelo is a pass first guard, so he'll get a lot of guys open. That's for sure. Just hopefully he can stay on the court because he was injured a couple times throughout his tenure in Charlotte. So, yeah. But yeah, the Blazers. They have 5 guards now: Shaedon Sharpe, Drew Holiday, Scoot Henderson, Dame Lillard, now John Morant. You can't start 5 guards, so I don't really know what they're doing.
I mean, it's an interesting fit even for the beyond the guards part. Personality wise, putting John Morant in Portland doesn't seem like the best fit.
No.
But maybe that's just me. I think there's still a lot where more talent. He's uber talented. Yeah. It's just I don't know how that locker room's gonna gel together with him in it.
Yeah, 100%. Especially when you do have the 5 guards, who's gonna play this night? Who's gonna play this night? And then if John Morant is gonna have that off the court attitude on the court, I'm not sure how that's gonna work out.
Yeah, and then the other trade actually just broke, not even 10 minutes ago. Paul George going to the Boston Celtics in exchange for Jaylen Brown and a couple, 3 or 4?
Two firsts and 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't understand that trade at all for Boston. Paul George is a 36-year-old, 29-year-old Jaylen Brown in his prime, going back the other way, and all it cost you was 2 firsts and 2 seconds. I mean, Brown was a guy who was getting talked about in the Giannis sweepstakes. So you went from Giannis and pivoted to Paul George. I'm not sure that's...
And the value for Giannis is up here, and I would say Paul George is somewhere around here. So, that's very drastic.
Do you think it had anything to do with Jaylen Brown thinks he's now a number 1 instead of number 2?
I honestly think he's going to be a number 1. Joel Embiid can't stay on the court for 10 games in a row, it seems like. So, Jaylen Brown kind of gets his own team. The 76ers has, good players around him. VJ Edgecombe, I believe Andre Drummond's still over there. He's had a good year. Of course, Embiid when he's healthy, former MVP. So, we'll see what the Sixers can do. So.
I mean, the 76ers, they're gonna be good.
Right.
It's for me the Celtics to see if they kind of remain at the level they already were, or if they're gonna go ahead and take a step back, and it's gonna go ahead and just kind of flip that script to Philadelphia.
Yeah. So that somewhat tells me that Tatum's it's gonna be around Tatum as it was before Jaylen Brown kind of took that next step in when he was hurt. Jason Tatum was hurt towards Achilles and then came back Before that, Jaylen Brown was, carrying the Boston Celtics, up the power rankings. But now he's gonna have his own team on Philadelphia. So I mean, we'll see.
I mean, I'll ask you guys. Do you think because of Brown's name getting thrown around in the sweepstakes that basically led to they have to trade him?
100%. Because you take a guy of stature and probably value in Giannis, and the fact that Jaylen Brown's kind of being not a 1-for-1 with him, but kind of just those two. It's basically.
But do you? I'm trying to word it as, do you think that Brown was not angry, but he's like, I'm not going to stay here?
I think
that's
definitely.
where I see it.
I definitely thought.
Yeah.
I don't think it put pressure on the organization of
Yeah.
the Celtics to have to trade him because he has value right now. We have to trade him because if they think he's an important piece of the team. Who cares how much value he has? They're going to keep him. But I do think the conversations of them wanting Giannis and offering Jaylen Brown may have caused a strain between the organization and him, which maybe made him want out, or just the strain in general. Just like, all right, the Celtics are ready to move on.
Because as a player, right? If you're in, he's been behind Tatum pretty much his entire time at Boston. Obviously, other than when Jason Tatum got injured with the torn Achilles, but. If your name is even close to, I know for me, if I'm a player and my name gets brought up in that sort of aspect, I'm thinking, you know what, I might be that number one guy, and if a team wants to take the chance, again, they're taking a chance on Jaylen Brown essentially. Yes, he's a really good player, but he's now going to get to be the number one, and I think it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, to that point, I don't know. Philadelphia kind of has a big three: Embiid, Maxey, and Jaylen Brown. So I mean, they're like you said, they're going to be good. But I know Jaylen Brown came out on social media and was, I guess, going at this one guy that said, I guess he's not that valuable. When looking, and Jaylen Brown pulled up some statistics. No team has won more regular season games and playoff games since he's come into the league. I believe that's what he said, and that's it speaks for itself. And to get traded for Paul George, who's somewhat on a decline, obviously not as good as his Pacer days, and he's up there in age. He gets traded for somebody that's in his prime. I don't know. I'm really excited to see what the 76ers do.
I mean, it can't get better for the 76ers. Paul George's contract is not great, and then you get a guy in Jaylen Brown who averaged almost 30 points a game last season,
Right.
and I get Tatum was out, but still.
Yeah.
Okay, just for the record,
I missed it.
We have the Senegal-Belgium game going on right now, and pretty much Senegal was up 2-0. Belgium tied it in the dying minutes of the second half, and they have just gotten a penalty, and they've scored the penalty
In the final minute.
in the final what's that, minute 2 minutes of
No, this is the final minute. They haven't even gone to added time yet. This
That
just
is-
went over because of the discussion of the penalty. So this is pretty much game.
I mean,
And Belgium's probably going to advance after being down 2-0 for a lot of this game.
What a
In the
strike,
70th
too.
minute, I think they were down 2-0.
yeah,
That's-
three straight unanswered goals.
That is-
They
that is
scored 2
crazy.
goals in 3 minutes, and then they
That's-
get the pen and they score.
I mean, the World Cup, you mentioned it before. This is the greatest, round of 32 we've, at least, I don't
I
watch
believe
it.
I
it's
mean,
the
it-
only round of 32 ever.
But
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
all, you
The
you
first
gotta
first
admit
round of the
game-
knockouts.
Yeah.
The best round of knockouts.
The games have been insane.
I mean, and obviously Senegal, I don't know if you want to call this an upset, but
They were
there's been a
good.
lot of
They
upsets,
controlled
too.
the game the entire,
Yeah.
70 minutes?
Mhm.
See if Senegal gets, I wouldn't be surprised if they get a last minute tie. But
How crazy this game has been.
we saw Paraguay upset, I believe it was Germany
Germany.
in PKs. That was one of the wildest penalty shootouts I've
Japan
seen.
almost upset Brazil.
Yeah.
They almost upset Brazil. I wouldn't call Senegal, if Senegal would have won, I wouldn't call that an upset.
No.
I do think this is a pretty balanced game, and Belgium has been a team that a lot of people expect to succeed, and then they kind of fall short for every World Cup.
I mean,
this World Cup they haven't came off they didn't start off great, and they've kind of gotten hot, especially right now. And I thought they were gonna lose this, so.
I mean, you also got to think, Norway almost was knocked
Yeah.
out yesterday, too. Erling Haaland had to score in the 85th minute, I think it was.
And then,
And in England today.
yeah, without Harry Kane, you asked that question, and then also probably. I mean, Morocco and the Netherlands.
I wouldn't say that either of those were.
I wouldn't say that's. I thought it was definitely surprising just the way the Netherlands played that game, but you got to give credit to the Morocco team. I mean, they kind of took it to the Netherlands in the later stages of the game, and I mean the penalty that ended up was a decisive penalty. What goes in off of the Netherlands keeper. So, I mean, the World Cups. I mean, we have USA versus Bosnia and Herzegovina today, and then obviously US would play the winner of Senegal and Belgium. But I think we're in for another good game. Obviously, Mexico got the win over Ecuador yesterday.
That's the one you mentioned.
And
to me, Mexico is the only game that wasn't close so far.
I will. When I was not expecting them to come out that hot, but they're in their home turf. I think that added definitely. I mean, if you see the picture of the streets, just when they scored, it's just absolute. It's beautiful to see, like absolute scenes. Some people say absolute limbs, but I think it's just phenomenal. That's what they say.
All right.
Absolute limbs, man.
Never heard of that.
What do you mean?
Not sure about that one.
Yo, roast guys in the comments, bro. That's 100% true.
Who says that?
Yeah.
Who says that?
Or roast him.
English people.
Name one English person.
Has Harry Kane said that? Go.
That's what it is on online. They say like limbs, like absolute limbs.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
Yo, I just want to say this right now. I've been getting clowned on the entirety before this recording. I'm right on that. 100%. They say limbs. I'm sticking by it. Yeah, that's me right there.
Well, moving past this.
No, we're not
moving past this. Ariel, I mean, you said before we started recording that you think Mexico's looked like one of the most complete teams, if not the most complete team.
I mean, I'm not going to put them as one of the favorites to win the World Cup, but I mean, I'm going to get into it.
I mean, I think they might be top three with France.
With how they played,
with France and Argentina.
With how they played yesterday.
Whoa.
They look one of the most complete teams in the World Cup.
That start was the best start I've seen.
Well, okay, I will say this. I think Ecuador was a overrated team. I mean, I wouldn't say overrated because a lot of people were dogging on them in the beginning, but Ecuador was a team that came out very, very sloppy, not a very good team. When they first made the World Cup, a lot of people were expecting great things out of them because I think they were runners up in South America. What happened?
Just nothing. It's
Tom's thinking in the face.
Man.
Anyways, they were runners up in CONMEBOL, and South Americans love to say all the time that if Mexico played in South America, that they wouldn't succeed. And I think Mexico just proved them all wrong because they went.
They just keep blocking all of
Belgian
the shots.
defense.
Was it handball? What happened?
It might be a free kick right outside the penalty box.
It's 10 minutes added time. Oh my goodness.
Well, moving back to
like a 6-minute conversation for the penalty.
True. Okay, so going
handball.
back, it is handball.
Handball.
That's gonna be a free kick.
Oh my, free kick.
All right, lock in, bro.
Okay, Ariel, going back to Mexico.
Yeah.
I think. Obviously, like you said, they're not going to be like one of the favorites. But coming into this, everybody thought that Spain or Portugal were going to be these huge teams. France and Argentina have already proven they are going to be one of the favorites to win it. But Spain and Portugal, just for example, haven't looked like they've had the chemistry that Mexico has.
Yeah, well,
and you're not going to win a World Cup if you're not, having that connection on the field.
Spain. Well, you said Spain and Portugal, two teams that have disappointed so far. I feel like. I mean, Spain really they've been dominant, but that first game tying to Cabo Verde, which I mean they tied every single one of the games, so they've been just thugging it out the whole tournament. That's what the beauty of the World Cup is, that like these teams can compete with top teams and like these Cinderella stories from March Madness, like a lot of competition, a lot of heart in these games. So going back to Mexico, the only team I'm pretty sure to not allow a goal in the whole tournament right now and win every single game. They won all three of the group stages, then they won the knockout game. Haven't let it go in yet. That's my biggest thing with Mexico so far, is that their defense has impressed me so much. The performance of Mexico so far has probably been the best performance I've seen from them. And during the group stage, I was hoping that they'd be a little bit better on the attack. And then yesterday versus Ecuador, they showed that they came out, scored 2 goals in the first half, and then all they had to do was play defense second half, and they have, to me, maybe one of the best defenses right now with Cesar Montes in the back, commanding the defense. What's his name in the middle? I'm forgetting.
This is a Mexico fan.
Bro, come on. I'm just blinking.
Isn't this
Just
isn't this the first time they've made it
This is the first time they've gotten to the 5th game in 40 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Because I heard that
Mexico
yesterday.
has the curse of the 5th round
Lifted.
or the 5th game. But to be fair, this tournament added a game, so they're still in the round of 16 where they technically always lose in the round of 16. So they still have to. To me, they have to beat England now to break that curse.
And I think they have looked better than England.
They have a
tournament.
chance, especially
Yeah.
after what we saw from England today. I think.
Then again, is England going to come out
exactly.
Well, this is how I see it. England is going to be the best attack team that we've faced in this tournament. I don't think they play the defense as good as Mexico. They're going to have to play in El Azteca, and that's a hard
Home field
stadium to play in.
advantages.
Dude, the elevation, the humidity, England's not used to either of those. I saw someone say that the tallest mountain in the UK is only about half the height of that stadium.
That's
So they have to play in
nuts.
Azteca in a crowd full of Mexican fans, loud Mexican fans, and it's gonna be tough. If Mexico can come out and score on them in the first half, maybe even put 2 in, it's over for England. I don't think they're gonna be able to respond like they did against the Congo?
Yeah.
I don't think they respond the same way. So I'm a little excited for Mexico's journey after this. Let's say they beat England and we take on Brazil. That's where I'm a little worried. But I'd be satisfied they can beat England and, ruin another World Cup for them.
Damn.
Well, I'm just saying England always choked in the World Cup.
I just want to see good soccer, and I think we've gotten treated to that. But
Yes,
obviously, I'd like
yeah.
to see the U.S. make it to the round of 16, and then we would play now Belgium, who's officially won that based on the penalty.
I mean, we can talk about the U.S. team. I feel like
This is the best team they've had.
this is the best team they had, and I feel like there's a legitimate shot if they take care of Bosnia and if they play like they did for the majority of the group stage that they can beat Belgium.
If they play like they did against Turkey with that last minute winner, that was kind of a shot. That was kind of a stab to the chest.
But then again, how many starters didn't play that game?
Stop.
But at the same
That's
time,
not
okay,
a
this
good
is where
At this
It's
point
part
in the
of
World Cup, any of those backup are starter level. All those guys can play on the first team. There's no first, second team. But besides that, they started putting in those starters when you guys went down. They put in Pulisic, and they did
Pulisic's
not.
coming off an injury.
he got.
And he shouldn't
I
have
will say
played. Then
he got
should not have
made
played at all.
bad. Like Goulet made the crap.
Yeah, I did
out
say,
of it.
yeah.
I will say that. But I mean, yeah, he's coming off an injury. I mean, I do think Bosnia is the severe underdog, and I've always said the underdog plays like they have their backs against the wall, which they do. But it'll be interesting to see. Again, home field advantage for the U.S. They playing in. You said I think they're playing in San Francisco. I think another home field game. I have to say though, I was talking to Ariel about it before. I did not quite realize, because soccer is not one of the sports I watch a lot, but I did not realize the dedication that these fans have, especially for the World Cup, their nation. I mean, you're traveling all the way from Europe to, in some cases, the United States, and it seems like it is home field advantage for pretty much any nation. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if
nuts.
you take a look at Norway's fans when they
Yeah.
do
That's
what I wanted to bring
celebrations
up,
after
yeah.
the game,
the road
I mean,
Love
the entire
that.
stadium
That's
is in on the
insane.
chant.
And
That's crazy.
even during the group stages, I mean, I know Scotland obviously
Yeah.
didn't have, but
They outdrank Boston.
I don't think anybody that lived in Boston think that was even remotely
I didn't
possible.
think it was possible.
The Samuel Adams bar was
It was
ran
gone.
out of beer.
They ran out of beer. Boston never runs out of beer. That's insane. And just the camaraderie too. I mean, they didn't expect to have as much of like a good time, but they made the most of it. I mean, you see on social media all over the place that, especially the Scottish fans, just everything coming together, and then even some of the nations as well, just like helping out, cleaning up after. It's been really cool to see, especially in the world of sports, because it happens every 4 years. It happens, and It's just good to see, and it's good for the sporting world.
It's funny to me how like I want to say easily impressed Americans are by the rest of the world. Especially Kyle's white ass, dude.
Soccer.
No, listen to me. Like, bro, I mean, maybe because I watch soccer a little more than most people here do, but like, I mean, I knew Scottish people drank like that. I knew, like,
I didn't know to the level of like.
I was Kyle on this one.
How much people love soccer.
I did because soccer is one of the under the radar sports for me.
The only time that I watch soccer actively is the World Cup.
That's what I'm
so that's
saying.
every 4 years.
I mean, I don't even watch soccer actively, but I watch international soccer.
Yeah, and that's what.
Like it's more hockey, it's more football, obviously, but now it's like, oh wow, soccer's on. I'm gonna watch that. And I've been impressed with every game so far, and I mean,
which is good. I'm like Harold said, I think soccer is gonna boom in the U.S.
100%.
after this, and I'm excited for that. But hopefully it's not just like the MLS that booms. Like hopefully Americans start watching the English Premier League and all these and the international games more. You know what sucks though is I'm gonna hate when the World Cup ends. It's so fun.
Because then you're kind of in the, I don't want to say like mud of sports, but then you only have like baseball and then like other.
You have baseball until hockey comes back.
Yeah.
I'd say that, for us American sports fans, the World Cup has given us something to watch after basketball has ended, hockey has ended,
I didn't
football
think
has
about
ended.
that. If we didn't have the World Cup this year, it'd be like
That's why,
it'd be so boring.
Yeah.
Because we'd have nothing to talk about on this podcast besides all the trades.
You'd be waiting for free agency and trade news.
I can't keep up with all the time. Especially hockey and basketball, I don't really watch. So and football's kind of stagnant right now. So.
And honestly, to think about the we're spoiled enough being in Vegas that the Knights have gone on for as long as they did going to the Stanley Cup final. But there's been a lot of sports fans around the U.S. who have been done for already over a month and a half. Right. So.
It's like main football, and then once that goes away, then it's like, the whole hockey surge, and then once that goes away, without the World Cup, there's just kind of, I don't want to say a gray area because baseball's obviously still going on, but it's still not like once you have all the sports playing, that's prime time.
Baseball will get into the later half of the season. They'll do the All-Star break, and then there'll be like a week where there's be no sports on, American sports on, except WNBA, of course, but.
And then you have the whole, then it starts up again. Then you got college football. You got regular
That's
NFL.
The best time of the year.
You got sports pretty much every single day of the week, and that's just a fun time to be a journalist as us, and a fun time to be a sports fan.
Yeah, can't wait for football to come back. I mean, but again, as a Mexico fan, I am enjoying. I didn't even go fully into why I think Mexico's gonna win. So let me go back to it real quick. England. Here's where I do think England. Is a scary opponent that, although, yes, they haven't been clicking, their roster on paper is one of the best, especially that attack with Harry Kane. They have Saka coming off the bench, Rashford, all these players that are top talents in the world. So I'm getting scared. Like, if England does finally decide to click and play as a team and, actually show the talent that they have on paper, that will be a tough game for Mexico. So that's why I think it's such a perfectly balanced matchup. And then another good matchup, Norway-Brazil.
That's
going to be an insane game. Especially because Holland has history with one of those guys that plays on Brazil. A lot of fights, plays for Arsenal. So
it's not surprising. Man City, Arsenal, just clashing heads.
So there's going to be a good match there. And for you, who do you guys predict? Because I know not all the next rounds are finalized. I mean, we're already talking about U.S. and U.S. Belgium. We don't know.
No. I said if they survive. If they survive Bosnia, yes.
I mean, Bosnia could upset them.
That is
Because besides that, I mean, they were underdogs to even get in.
Yeah.
They've proven that they can win games. So
now they're gonna prove.
But they have had games where they've been like, ugh.
They're now gonna try and prove that they're here to stay and go into the round of 16.
I would love for them to beat the U.S. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
Let's not even say anything.
I don't think the U.S. has a
about
chance
it.
against Belgium, though. I don't see that.
I think anything's possible.
Yeah, if there's one thing I've learned from this knockout stage, anything is possible. I mean, we have 3-4 upsets.
I mean, if they got
4 upsets.
Well, Paraguay's one of them.
One.
What was the other one? There's no. It was You said Morocco.
Morocco is not an
I
upset.
thought that
Morocco
was
is a top 7 team in
I
FIFA
thought that
rankings.
was an upset.
We've had a lot of close games.
No,
There's not
because
been
the Netherlands are just everyone was talking about like, oh, they're gonna make a run, and then they run into Morocco.
Morocco into the
semi-finalists
yes.
last World
Yes.
Cup.
I'm
They have
not- I'm
Hakimi.
saying
They're
this
one of the.
year.
They're still one of the best teams in their top 10. Well, that was the best matchup of the whole first 32 round. Yeah, easily. I think easily. Morocco is a top talent.
Okay, maybe I a lot of close games. There you go.
Yeah.
Close game.
And
Yeah.
there's been a lot of almost losses. Yeah.
Shocking performances.
There you
That's
go.
a better term.
Yeah.
Oh, the little American. No,
Dude, like I'm so done, bro. I'm so done. Soccer. Let's move on to my main sport.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's free agency started for the NHL today. Hometown team, the Knights, making a couple moves. I know the Sabres, my team, made a couple of moves. Just everyone making a lot of moves, especially after the draft. So let's start with one of the bigger ones. Do you want to go? Let's go Bobrovsky to the Toronto Maple Leafs, who, if you paid attention to the draft, Gavin McKenna, they got the number 1 pick. Matthews is probably going to stay in Toronto, especially with
A playmaker like McKenna, he's just gonna get.
Yeah.
But they basically replaced Marner in one.
But
one
I
season.
don't agree. I don't think I agree with the Bobrovsky contract.
Right.
Because he signed for 3 years. The
And
dude,
he's already
I mean,
40.
he's coming off the worst season of his career arc.
He's coming off the worst season of his career, but he also played. That Panthers team was not healthy all year. Yeah, they were really bad because they didn't have their players last year.
Do you think now? Okay, so then flip side of that, Florida now has Brady Tkachuk, and I think they got Radko Gudas
No,
as well.
they are
Like,
immediately the top
they're stacked.
contenders.
Barkov's coming back
Yes.
as well. Do you think he was already on the out after last season, especially with the cap space?
I don't think so. I think the moment that Brady Tkachuk became available, that made Bobrovsky expendable. Bobrovsky, I think, is a very good goaltender, especially if he goes back to the 2024 version of Bobrovsky. And he was already 35, I believe, when they won the Cup in that 2024.
Yeah.
So he is an older guy. He's proved that he can do it at, that kind of level in that realm of 8 or that, 35 to 40 realm. I think if he can get back to that, the Maple Leafs got a steal of a goaltender. That's great. But $7 million a year, that's where I have the problem.
It begs the question now because Toronto has now
Stolars. That's what I was going to bring up.
The one thing that they have struggled with is goaltending, and they've had Joseph Woll. He wasn't the guy. We can go back to the Bernier days as well in Toronto, and I think Bobrovsky, he has a lot to prove in a way. I don't know what the thought process was of signing him for 3 years, $7 million.
I have no problem with the term.
The money is where,
the
because you think for a guy, because people say he was on the out, like they said, oh, this is his last season, but I would have taken like $3 million maybe at that.
And give the Leafs credit, they moved out contracts to be able to, extend the guys they want. They knew they had McKenna coming in. They retooled their defense.
Didn't they get Radish as well?
They got Radish
for like 6 to 8
there was
years.
rumors up until before we started recording, about half hour to an hour, that they were a top landing spot for Zach Werenski.
Yep.
Obviously, Werenski says after vetoing a trade from the Stars and communicating with the Blue Jackets that he's going to end up
released a
there.
statement today that he's staying.
But the Maple Leafs are obviously still hunting, and I think the one guy on that team that's still expendable is Matthew Nyes.
Yeah,
I feel like that there's still a trade coming that's either involving Matthew Nyes, or maybe they move on from Morgan Riley, which that's been rumored for a long time, and that clears more cap space. I think Chayka, since taking over in that general manager position, has done the right moves, but I don't know if he's really had to think a lot of them through. He's kind of just fall into his lap.
I think they've had a pretty good offseason. They filled needs. The defense on the blue line was horrendous. Especially for them last year. The amount of offensive talent that they have in the blue line is just not
good.
I still think their third pairing needs work. I mean, it's you have OEL, Ulrich, Larson, and Troy Stetcher. I don't love that third pairing.
It's another thing about size in terms of height, because Stetcher's not a tall guy, and you need height. I know there's a guy in the draft. Yeah, he's a forward, but Sharks
7 foot.
Sharks will get to them in a minute because they're making a lot of good moves. But 7'1" coming out of going into the draft, and he gets drafted by the Stars. I mean, that's a guy you want on the blue line. Teach that dude how to backskate and take a one-time.
Right. Well, that's the one thing. If this dude has the agility of like a stick, then
I mean, yeah, but
then that's the risk you take.
But I think just because I go back to what the Hurricanes did this year, and they had just the most complete defense I've seen a team have in a minute, and I think that's why they won. You know, you had Slavin and Chatfield of the notable names, and they were firing on all cylinders, yeah, but at the same time, I think they just Toronto needs depth, and I think they're in the right direction, but I do think Matthews does stay, especially with his whole video thing he did for Gavin McKenna as well in the draft.
Can somebody have told him to maybe move that teleprompter just a little
I
bit more behind
what the Toronto Maple Leafs did because Justin Bieber announced the #1 overall
Mr.
pick.
McKenna.
Mr. McKenna, we'd like to draft.
It was just not proper.
What's wrong with Bieber?
I'm not saying
no, it's not what's wrong with Bieber. It's just
the
like
way he said it. You're supposed to say with the a #1 overall pick, especially for the Toronto Maple Leafs, one of the biggest Canadian teams there, and he goes. Mr. has a stick mic in his hand, and he goes, Mr. McKenna pauses. We'd like to draft you to the Toronto. Not didn't say the number, didn't say anything, didn't say the former team he was from.
Clearly, nobody told him
Penn
about
State as well, bro. That could have been a huge moment. Oh, from Penn State, no, Mr. McKenna, we'd like to draft.
Now he's one of the most unique draft picks.
Bro, don't miss me with no.
Oh, don't get me started about the post-draft interview that was on the sideline. Said, Justin, did you write that song Yukon because you thought that a Yukon boy would be drafted to the Toronto Maple Leafs? that was a question for sure.
It's just the dumbest thing I've seen done.
Yeah, I don't know. Going back to the goaltending, they had Anthony Stolarz. Stolarz played. Yeah. He played all right, I guess. But now you get a superb goaltender, 2-time Vezina winner.
Superb. We can put quotes.
Again, I'm more of I like the goaltender. I don't like the AAV at this point.
I just don't like the fact that he's coming off of the worst year, and Toronto has a history of doing this. It's like they get a guy that they think is going to pan out, and it never does. I hope for Toronto's sake it does, because last year was
do we know if that deal has a no movement clause or not in it?
I'm not sure.
Because if it does have a no movement, that's not good. Because
he's going to retire anyways, probably after he's done. Because you look at the term, the term goaltender nowadays means you're young and you have height. And we don't know how acrobatic he can be. We've seen a lot of Sergei Bobrovsky acrobatic saves, but you have guys like Jake Ottinger. We'll talk. Dallas is also another asterisk as well because he's never really proved anything. Mm-hmm. But you take the look at the goaltender position, and you're just seeing a lot of younger guys. UPL you can throw in there as well for the Sabres, and even Alex Lyon as well. There's just a lot of young goaltenders, and I think if you look at Sergei Bobrovsky, I question it because they always do this. They think it's going to pan out, never does. But I guess
the question is, what if not Sergei Bobrovsky, who were you going to bring in after you traded Wall? There's not a lot of options.
With Anthony Stolarz.
No.
I don't even know how old or young he is. He might be 26 or something.
No, Stolarz is actually an older guy. I'm pretty sure.
Stolarz is
closer to 30.
Yeah, so I mean, there's not really development there. So I guess I don't know. Toronto's.
You take a guy. Jacob Markstrom was available apparently because he got traded. I would have much because if you pay Jacob Markstrom Sergei Bobrovsky's contract, that makes so much more sense.
But Markstrom is also, I believe, had a no movement. He could determine where he went. Maybe he didn't want to go.
And no one wants to go to Toronto. I mean, it's just the franchise was not in a good position. Fresh GM, fresh front office, #1 pick. The only thing that they got there that's good is Matthews.
No, and again, I still think that they've made the right moves so far. But like I said, I don't know how much Shake has had an actual hand in that and then been like, oh, that's a good idea. Let me just go ahead and make that move. Because that has been a tough decision to make.
The tough decision is going to be, to your point, Nyes, because he's a phenomenal player and he's young as well.
He's only 23 years
and
old.
he proved he can get some money, and I think that'll be the first hard decision. And I think no matter what he does, front office at the Toronto Maple Leafs, there's going to be questions regardless. But just how you
every team would love a Matthew Nyes.
Yeah,
just because He's a grinder.
And he has 6 more years now in his or is this the first year of a 7-year deal? Either way, it's about 7.25, I think it is, for 7 years. He's locked up for term. He's only going to get better.
I wouldn't be surprised if draft picks, because you need, I think for him, 2 first-rounders is that's minimum for him. Because anything less, and you pretty much lost your investment. But, I mean, moving on from the Toronto Maple Leafs, because there's a lot we can talk about them. The San Jose Sharks are making a lot of, I really like their team. They had a really good draft. We talked about the 7'1" guy earlier. I thought they made a lot of good moves at the draft, drafted more young guys, as well as signed Darnell Nurse from the Edmonton Oilers. I do think Edmonton won that trade because they didn't retain his salary. But what were your thoughts on it?
Honestly, I liked every single move the Sharks have made. I think they won the draft by far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, they get Stenberg, they get Bierhoff, they trade back into the first round, and Ryan Lynn, I believe, was there. They took in the 28 range. I think they won the draft. I think they had a fantastic offseason, and then they went and signed Jacob Trouba to a 4-year, $8.25 million AAV.
I like that one too.
I know they have the cap space to make it work, but you got to think Celebrini's going to be an RFA next season. You're going to have Will Smith going to be an RFA next season, which means these guys are going to get paid. And I don't think they realize just how much of that cap is going to go towards Will Smith and Celebrini.
I'll tell you one thing I like about it. It's the fact, I think, just purely, the amount of money, again, questions a little bit and the length of it too. But I think you got a guy who, with Celebrini, with Will Smith, with a lot of young guys, they're pretty much going to have a target on their back for any team. And I think you bring in a guy like Jacob Trouba, and he doesn't put up with that at all. If you go after Celebrini,
Darnell Nurse too.
You're getting Darnell Nurse as well. You're getting pretty much flat.
Yeah.
And I think the money again is a question for sure.
And don't get me wrong, I don't mind the fit of the players for sure. I think the fit of the players is kind of perfect. And I think that San Jose is honestly going to be competing for the Pacific Division title next year. That's how good I think they're.
100%.
I mean, Macklin Celebrini went from an 80-point guy to a 115-point guy in a single season,
and played in the Olympics as well. Showcased that as well.
I'm just thinking in terms of long term. Celebrini is going to be an RFA. What's going to stop somebody who is, like the Chicago Blackhawks, who has a ton of cap space, from going, we're going to offer you an 8-year. What?
I threw that a little hard.
Yeah.
Camera died and Thomas tossed the camera.
Oh man.
Ariel's camera died. There was a whole exchange. I hope that was on that shot.
It was on the wide shot.
Oh, thank dude.
So I was to take Kyle's shot so you could throw it and you wouldn't be seen. And then his died, so I was like,
Mine died? The wide shot?
no, your eyes.
Yeah, that one was
Oh.
Oh
That's
my
fine.
goodness.
That might have been the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Okay, well,
San Jose's having a hell of an offseason.
yeah, there you go. Okay, well, let me get back.
Yeah,
So,
get your point.
what's gonna say Chicago or a team that has the most cap space in the NHL go? We're gonna offer you an 8-year, $20 million a year deal. We're okay with losing those draft picks. And while San Jose might have the cap, all of a sudden those extra couple million that you've been paying Jacob Trouba and Darnell Nurse are going to come into effect because they're going to have to match that offer.
Yeah.
You can't let a guy like Celebrini, just
you
walk
can't
out the
walk.
door for cap compensation or for draft compensation. That's my only problem with it. But I like the structure of the team. They're going to be good for a very long time.
Yes,
And
they are.
what he did in Anaheim as well. I mean, I'm sure that had something to do with the money because Anaheim, another really good team, another really young team, and he was basically the enforcer there. I think it's kind of a worry about it later thing. I get you're gonna have a lot of young guys, especially Celebrini. He deserves to be that.
Especially if Bedard resets the market.
Because he has to sign a new deal, and I think that'll kind of test that'll kind of set the standard for the young talent because. I think personally, Bedard is the pinnacle of young hockey talent, and I think Celebrini is just below him. I think it's really close. But take guys like Will Smith and then their other draft pick, I forget his name. But I think that'll kind of, you said it perfectly, set the standard for sure. Because if he signs a lucrative amount of money, then San Jose is going to be questioning what the hell do we do now.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of flip the script to Chicago because you talked about Bedard, and now we got to talk about Bowen Byram.
Yeah, that is that. Hold on, that is a ridiculous amount of money. I'm sorry.
What was it?
$12.5 million
over
for,
6 years.
For 6
or 6, yeah.
Are you out of your mind? That dude ain't worth $10 mil for 4 years. Bro. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, I was questioning
12 and a half.
I was questioning the Rasmus Anderson deal,
Oh, gosh,
and then
get to that next.
yeah, we'll get to that. But the fact, and we're not even talking about the trade that took place in order to get Bowen Byram.
No.
The number 4 overall pick, the guy who led them their defensive core in goals last season, in Louis Crevier, and more. Like, the number 4 overall pick wasn't worth it for Bowen Byram.
I'm sorry, but if you want to prove you're the number 1 defenseman, which is why he left, because I know damn well Rasmus Dahlin is our number 1 defenseman, and he will continue to be because he is insane. Bowen Byram is an offensive defenseman. On what planet, not Earth apparently, is he worth $12.5 million? Bro, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous for a regular defenseman.
And so what my point is, going to Chicago, how much pressure is Bedard putting on that organization to make that trade? Because it's awful.
It was Sabres fleeced them, to put it bluntly. I mean,
well, it's Bedard. It has to be. There's no way that in that organization's right mind they went and traded the number 4 overall pick. Bedard went to them and said, "I want to win. Do something to get us more competitive." And they went, "Well, I guess we can go get Bowen Byram."
Byram's not the answer.
Exactly. That's not. Or there's no way that they willingly said, Bowen Byram's the one we want, and we're going to trade the 4th overall.
And we're going to give you Jordan Greenway as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Excuse me?
We're going to dump $4 million.
Like,
also. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chicago fans. I don't hate the Chicago Blackhawks, but I just, again, the money, you have to sign Bedard. And he is going to want an insane amount of money.
And he rightfully deserves it.
And you pay him, and you pay a guy who wants to prove he's the number 1 defenseman. I wouldn't be surprised if he is. $12.5 million?
I mean, you have who? I can't think off the top of my head right now who's the highest paid defenseman in the NHL. But it's going to be Cale Makar or Clint Hughes next. Yeah, and I think they're probably going to get 18 to 20.
Yeah. I'm not saying that Bowen Byram is not on that level, but he's not even in the same. I don't even think you can put them in the same category as Makar, Hughes. Like
he's on. If you're comparing it to the Golden Knights, he's on the level of Anderson and Hannafin. Those guys are making $7 to $8 million.
I would 100% agree. If it was $7 mil for the 6 years, that's fine.
That's a great contract.
$12.5 million. I have and just you said it. The trade. You're trading away another young guy. Even if Bedard wants to win now, you don't get a guy like Byram. Yes, what he did for the Sabres was great, but you do not get a guy like Byram if you want to win immediately, especially with all the holes that they have to fill as well.
I mean, their top 6 is, I guess, okay, with Bertuzzi and Teravainen.
Which Teravainen is also a massive overpay.
Right. Yeah. I to your point, I don't really know what
they're gonna have to get creative for sure, because there's no way. Because after the Bedard, they're hitting the cap. Not even. They might be over it. Who knows? But it's. I mean, what the Sabres did with that number 4 overall pick, I didn't like it. They reached on Daxton Rudolph, in my opinion. I wish we got the defenseman from North Dakota.
Chase Reed.
Chase Reed was there.
Yeah. But I'm a really the dude's going to Denver as well. I think Daxton's going to Denver. I think he committed. But I'm sorry if you went into a front office, especially the Sabres front office with our GM, and you asked, "Hey, I want $12.5 million for the foreseeable future," pretty much, there is no way in hell I am granting that contract. Not even in the same ballpark.
No, it just doesn't make sense for a team that's rebuilding. You mentioned the holes that they have. you need as much cap as you possibly can get, or as many draft picks as you possibly can
And
get.
they got
to be able
nothing.
to, yeah.
You got a dude who's an enforcer and a dude who just
Wasn't it a first and a second this year that they gave up, plus Louis Crevier?
Ariel, don't worry, we'll bring you somehow back into this when we talk about the Knights. But,
Yeah.
Bro, you can't even talk about the
No, you
Knights.
can though.
I'm just waiting to come back. I got more news about Mexico.
Oh,
My
no.
geez.
But so let's obviously bad Chicago Blackhawks. But let's move on to the local team here, the Vegas Golden Knights. They made a couple
Major moves on the blue
of
line.
moves.
Major moves? I don't know.
So let's first start with Rasmus Anderson, the
Oh,
big one.
I mean, the big news that everybody knew since they traded for him, that he was going to be re-signed. He signs at 7 years, $8.5 million, which I thought, based on his performance in the playoffs, I didn't think that was worth
Horrendous.
it. It was bad.
The whole defense for Vegas, they pretty much hung Carter
I
Hart
mean,
out to dry.
Oh, 100%. But specifically in the final, I believe it was game 2 or 3. I think it was game 2. Rasmus Anderson, the Knights easily could have been up 2-0 heading back to Vegas. And he has back-to-back giveaways. Carolina scores both, and then they win it in overtime.
Yeah.
That
That doesn't give, the whole, defensive pairings didn't play good. Theodore didn't play good.
No.
I said last week I give McNabb credit for playing through that.
Dog mentality.
Yeah,
right there.
but
Can't
he
discount
didn't play that well either. Jeremy Lazan also got paid.
6 years, $4 million a year.
I don't know.
And okay, that deal has kind of grown on me.
Yeah.
I did not realize. I mean, obviously this number changed after the Rasmus Anderson signing. I believe the Knights are going to have $35 to $36 million in cap space next
I mean, that's
offseason.
not bad.
And that's because Stone and Carlson are coming off the books, who make the most money out of that bunch. And I think they'll both probably be back on hometown discounts if I had to guess. But that's still a lot of money. $4 million for a Jeremy Lazan.
I guess another young defenseman.
He's
He's
28.
on the-
He's
and
not like.
He's not young at all.
No, he's not. Jeremy Lazan's not a
Did he
young
have a
dude.
good last year?
Huh.
Was he good last year?
Lazan is a decent penalty killer. He blocks shots and he hits people.
Oh, well.
They're basically paying $4 million for a Radko Gudas type of player. And that's a little. Listen, Radko Gudas is literally just out there to hit people.
Literally.
So Lazan's obviously.
And now he's on Florida, so.
Lazan's obviously a better option there. But when you look at their entire defensive core, Rasmus Anderson is now making the most money out of anybody on the defensive core.
And I
Yeah.
don't think he's the most talented.
I don't.
And I think Hannafin's making more than Theodore is.
Yeah.
So Theodore is probably the most talented defenseman in that D core, and he's making they're in that number 3 range.
Think about what they did. Hannafin's a trade acquisition, and
Yeah.
he came over from, I believe it was Washington. And he was
They were both out of Calgary, Anderson and Hannafin, the
Damn.
former defensive.
Oh, that's
pairing
right.
in Calgary.
Yeah.
I must have. I thought he was in Washington. I don't know why. But regardless, I think that because everyone was shocked that they landed Hannafin as well as Huddle in that same free agency little stint there. But I just think after this cup run or the cup final, I don't know how you can like stick with the same pieces in a way. I do get the re-signing of Lazan, but the Rasmus Anderson one, at least you got to take a pay cut if you that's two giveaways is inexcusable, especially in the cup final. And
I mean, apparently this deal's been a handshake under the table agreement since the trade was made due to cap reasons. I don't know how, after his performance in the regular season and the playoffs combined, you didn't find a way to adjust that.
it'll be interesting to see how they do this year because they have.
I mean,
a lot of guys on their bottom 6 just left the past.
I mean,
day.
well, before bottom 6, I mean, Pavel Dorofeyev
Well, that too. Yeah.
going to the New York Rangers. I mean, you have a back-to-back season 30-plus goal scorer.
I think though that had to happen because he's seeking a new contract. He wants to get paid as well. Was he their leading scorer?
He was their leading scorer
He
last
was their
year.
leading scorer, and he's gonna get paid.
Oh, listen, Pavel earned it most definitely.
Plus, they needed a first round pick.
Yeah,
they
but-
had to get a first round pick.
I think they get 2 of them. I think the trade is good because the Knights. Listen, Pavel is great. $11 million a season puts him in that top 15 players in the
11
league.
for 7 is insane.
and he doesn't. He has one of the most elite shots in the game. I really will say that. The biggest thing is he doesn't play defense.
Right.
He doesn't play on the penalty kill.
Mm-hmm.
He's all right handling the puck. He's not great. And he's a power play vulture. And this past season, or last 2 seasons, he's had Jack Eichel and Mark Stone passing him the puck. Then you gave him Mitch Marner as well this season. Is he going to be able to replicate that in a New York team that now, they have Adam Fox quarterbacking the power play, but they just lost Trocheck.
Yeah.
They have, is Mika Zibanejad and Adam Fox going to be able to replicate what?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No. The answer is
And at times, Barbashev even looked better, as a first liner than Dorofeyev was.
Dorofeyev was constantly moved around the lineup because he kind of similar to Marcia, so he was that sniper guy who shot the puck a lot. And they tried to replace him right now in Victor Olofsson. They signed to a 1-year deal.
I like that. I like that contract. I like Olofsson as a player. I think he's a good goal scorer and a good sniper. And then they got a guy from Pittsburgh too,
Wotherspoon.
Parker Wotherspoon. And to think that everybody else on the Knights decor makes over $4 million, and Parker Wotherspoon is going to be there at $500,000.
He's just there like I'm on a decent team, Pittsburgh.
And
whatever.
That trade, especially sending Caden Korzak the other way. Korzak just his underlying analytics were good. He just wasn't ever the guy that they wanted him to be on that bottom pairing. They paid him like he would be a solid, if he has to move up to the middle pairing, he'd be great at that price, but at least be like a solid bottom pairing guy, and he just wasn't. He played himself out of the lineup in the playoffs.
And then one final thing, then because we'll bring you back into this stuff. But I think a team that flew under the radar definitely was the Utah Mammoth. I think that who they got in terms of Vinny Trocheck as well is really good for their forecheck, really good for their depth. But I just wanted to mention because I think the Mammoth had a really good season. Obviously they lost to the Knights, but I thought what they did was really good.
They get 2 veteran guys too because they also get Anders Lee.
That's right.
Today,
Anders Lee.
So you have already the youth there. You get a couple of older veterans who know.
You get those leaders of the locker room.
They know how to have success.
Dylan
really
Gunther and Clayton Keller are going to be very happy. I think in Utah.
Sticking Vincent Trocheck in the middle of that power play to tip shots, they're going to love that.
Can't go wrong with it.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to check in again next week for another episode of the Huddle. Thank you, Donovan, for joining us. And thank you, Tom.